See you, TMG.
Alright, talk to me about boxing, man. Soon as we've gone into our football segment, which I really did enjoy.
AJ,
You know, I watched that.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it. So I spoke to Selassie as well. I spoke to Selassie about this as well. And Selassie said that you said he's a bit too old to try and learn these new tricks.
Yeah.
And obviously I haven't spoken to you on it, but I guess this is the podcast. He looks like he's trying to be something that he's not. Which is where I'm having issues with AJ. I think the Usyk fight has now absolutely scrambled his identity. And he's in an identity crisis. That's what it is with me with AJ. Like, he's trying to be this boxer puncher. He's trying to craft his skills. He's trying to do the jab. He's trying to do the hook. He's trying to learn this one. He's trying to dodge shots. He's trying to do all of these little things, all these little nuances of the craft. It's stuff he's learning when he's like 33 years old. I just don't think he should have gone too deep into this style and gone back to more of his roots of when he was first coming to the scene.
He's just suffering. Well, maybe he's just suffering from confidence issues, and he's afraid to be as carefree as he used to be. Because when you try to go for the kill, there's an element that leaves you self-exposed, and he's worried about what's coming back to him a bit too much. But then again, I mean, obviously, don't learn. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, which is what me and Selassie discuss, which is true. But you can refine and clean, which is what I believe. I don't believe in David James will try to do to AJ, which is what he did. Defensively, AJ was a lot sounder.
They're still getting hit.
You get hit, but he was a lot sounder than, and structural wise, a lot better than he probably was in other times. His movement was pretty good. I mean, Jermaine Franklin is better than a lot of people give him credit for. Like I said, a lot of people think he beat Dylan White. He's quick, he's sharp. So there was that, and you're trying to get him, but there's that confidence to really cause him damage.
He never let his hands go.
Be more authoritative with his punches. He did it a couple times, but then he got smothered. There's too much holding by both of them. But my thing is AJ lost. Is either he wasn't sitting down his punches or he lost power. But
I don't think he sits down on his punches. I think it's like he's punching to score, not to hurt.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah,
he doesn't sit down on his punches. He never. You know, like with what you say with Wilder, like every punch Wilder is throwing, he's throwing so to end the fight. Where AJ, because maybe the fights with Usyk has been like, he knows that Usyk wasn't punching him to hurt him. Usyk was just punching to get the points, and he's probably in that mindset like, oh wow, Usyk did this to me. I now need to impose this style to get to Usyk's level. It's not that. It's not that. He needs to change it. He needs to go back. He needs to punch to hurt.
He needs to be a bit more menacing with his punches. And if he can get that right balance and still keeping himself somewhat defensively responsible, but also be menacing with punches when the opportunity is there to go for the kill. Because he had Franklin stunned a couple of times. He did try to step up a couple of times, but it was something was lacking. But it was like he tried to step up once he realized he couldn't. He quickly just went back into his kind of defensive shell.
Do you think he beats White?
I think he beats White, yeah. White's unless White comes and puts a performance for of his career, I think White's on the downturn.
But the thing is, White is gonna let his hands go, and if AJ has lost power, I think White has a chance.
I'm not saying that White doesn't have a chance. White does have a chance. But I feel White will bring the men's aspect out of AJ a bit more, which could work for White because he could leave himself to be more open. But I think AJ beats White. He has too much quality to beat White. White gets caught by the same punches, and AJ still has enough power to keep White honest at the end of the day. Yes.
How about Selassie was saying Fury, boy? He said there's no chance that AJ beats Fury right now.
Obviously, the Fury is bigger than AJ. He won't fight Fury at the same time for Franklin. Because to beat Fury, ideally, he needs to give drop him 3 times a knockout. He's not going to outbox Fury, which is what I hope he understands. I need to throw his combinations and be menacing because there's a big target there.
He's-
But the issue for me is just that the performance looked like it lacked a bit of confidence, and that's what he's going to need to beat Fury. You need to have confidence in his own abilities. If he doesn't have confidence, Fury will smoke him.
That's where it is, isn't it? Because that's the fight that he wants. He wants the Fury fight. And that's where I was thinking, when I was looking at this fight with Franklin, I was like, how does this fight translate to Fury? And I was thinking, it's two totally different fights. I think Fury is a bigger fighter. AJ it's a bit maybe lighter on his feet, quicker than Fury in some respects, but Fury is just so smart as a boxer. But I think maybe fighting someone bigger than him might play into AJ's hands of what he wants to do now.
Yeah, bigger target. I mean, AJ's got to make sure he obviously keeps his defensive responsible against Fury because Fury does have a knockout power now. But AJ needs to let his hands go, throw some combinations, and set traps, and walk through into them, tap the body. AJ's issue is, which has been an issue for, in my opinion, for his whole career, he doesn't tap the body nowhere near enough.
I don't think he even hit. How many body shots did he give Frank?
I remember I haven't got the stats for him, trying to find them. But there's one body shot he hit Franklin with and he stunned him. AJ's got so much power, doesn't go to the body nowhere near enough.
I think if AJ was to fight Wilder, I think Wilder will be the favourite. But it'll be like 55-45. Because Wilder is not trying to refine his game. Wilder's just like, I'm just trying to knock you out. I want to do it the best. I know guys like Fury are too good. Like, Wilder wouldn't fight Usyk. Because Usyk is just too quick. It's too quick for him.
So hopefully Wilder does fight Fury. No, if he does fight Usyk.
Huh? You think so?
Hopefully he does. I mean, that's what the fight the punch trying to make next. I mean, AJ was just...
Usyk Wilder?
Yeah.
When is that?
Trying to make that fight, it's not been set, but
I thought he was making Usyk the Dubois.
Huh?
I thought he was making Usyk Dubois.
That's the mandatory.
Dubois can get beat up. Dubois is gonna get beaten up.
He's gonna get schooled.
Ugh. He's gonna get absolutely beaten up unless he wants to brawl out. I watched Usyk versus Chisora recently, and I said to this, okay, Usyk's tempo is so quick for most heavyweights that there's actually no way most of these heavyweights beat him. Because the tempo of how he boxes, the speed that he boxes for 12 rounds is so much. But when Chisora kind of made it a brawl, it was so hard for him. You could see that he was physically overwhelmed. That's why I was so confused by AJ's fight that he didn't try and hold him and hug him and make him tired and lean on him.
It's never really more been a guy to hold guys like that. That's where the lack of experience comes in. Like him holding these against Franklin, even though people thought it was excessive, a good point it probably was, but I said it's initiated by both fighters. That's also a feather in his cap because if it was a fight that likes you see again, that's a skill he could use, and he has the experience to hold a guy, put his weight on him, slow him down, make him reset, not let him get into a rhythm. All those little tricks to the trade. AJ didn't have those tricks, didn't have those abilities because he hasn't been taught them, or maybe he has, but he doesn't have the experience in order to know when to utilize them. The stuff that Fury has, that sort of stuff that Mayer have done as well, and Usyk can do. That takes years of experience to understand and how to utilize.
Fury absolutely took Wilder's legs away by doing that.
Yeah, literally. But flipping, I mean, Franklin still kept a decent pace. Not obviously not as good as
not Usyk's pace.
Well, not as Usyk level, but I mean, looking at the stats now, Franklin threw 50 more punches. He threw 426 to AJ 376. AJ landed 117 to Franklin's 58. 31% to 14%. I mean, AJ had a good economical fight. I mean, in terms, but this is what I know. The only issue was he didn't really stun Franklin enough. The only time I can remember him stunned him a couple times point I remember to the body, he stunned him. And it wasn't enough because he could have got Franklin out there if he rose the level and by
the speed, the tempo,
maybe by another 10% ish. But I say he's, in my opinion, he's lacking confidence. But playing devil's advocate, first fight with Derek James, new trainer, hope they can get some sort of rhythm and consistency going. In my opinion, for AJ to map out his career, if I was Eddie Hearn, fight this guy, Franklin got through him, fight White, then go and fight the winner of Fury and Usyk, presumably they fight. If not, after White, go fight Wilder. You get money there. If you get through Wilder, you fight Fury and Usyk, the winner of that.
With Fury and Usyk have a fight.
Yeah, because Fury's been.
I know that Fury might avoid that forever.
If
I actually have money on him never fighting him.
If Fury avoids him, then his career is obviously gonna be tarnished.
But it's just because he beat up Wilder for like 3 times. This is how I see Fury. I think Fury fights Usyk. He doesn't fight Usyk. I think he fights White again, and he fights Joshua. I don't think he fights Usyk.
He might do.
And then he fights. I think one of these guys are gonna fight Anderson.
Who?
I'll put my money on it being Joshua, to be fair.
To fight Anderson?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because Joshua's the one out of all of them that doesn't seem to care about. He just takes the challenge.
Yeah.
Wilder, I just don't see him fighting Anderson. Because Wilder is very measured with his opponents. The only reason he took Fury is because Fury was coming back from not fighting for how long had he not fought? He would have never fight Fury now. If it was Fury's resume now, he would not fight him. He fought him because he was like, 100 and something pounds overweight. That's the only reason he took that fight.
Yeah.
And then when he drew that fight, he was shocked because he thought, okay, let me get this Fury name on my resume. Now I can say I've beaten the linear champ, and then I've got that, and I'm the A side. The A side, B side of fighting has destroyed it. It's destroyed boxing. It destroyed boxing because it's always about the purse. It's always about this. I would say now UFC is the premium sport when it comes to fighting.
Combat sport.
Yeah.
You're not wrong still. In terms of like the fans' interest, because boxing always disappoints. I mean, hopefully the Tank and Garcia fight gets up the line, reignites. People find the best versus the best in their prime, and hopefully I think the lightweight division may reignite that. Because obviously with Crawford and Spence, it's been stalling, and hopefully these guys realize the excitement and the fun fair. They can stop worrying about it so much. I realize even if I lose, I can still be heavily respected. I can still make a whole bunch of money. For example, if Crawford and Spence fought 3 times, I don't think say they fought 3 times, and say the first two fights are very close, 1-1-1, the other 1-1-1, or there's 2 draws, which are like, or maybe 1-1, there's a close draw, controversial. So make good money. They look at Golovkin and Canelo.
Look, except like when Haney loses to Lomachenko, when they do the rematch, it's gonna be peas on the table. I'm telling you this now that Lomachenko's winning.
I don't see Lomachenko winning. But flipping,
how do you not? Lomachenko is one of the most gifted boxers of all time.
He is, but he's over it. And Haney's too big. Because Haney's going to end up fighting in welterweight.
Yeah, he might. I know. But he's going to hold
big.
some punch. I've seen Haney's head.
Haney's too big. He's skilled enough. Not as skilled as Lomachenko, he's very skilled. The only thing that Lomachenko's got a lot of skills. I mean, Lomachenko maybe go through his punches because I think Lomachenko's got better chin. I don't recall him. Yeah, I think he has been dropped very rarely. But Haney can get a bit chinny. But Haney,
it's very chinny. I've seen him wobble.
I think Haney will get through Lomachenko. But Haney and of course Stevenson will fight Haney and.
I don't think they're gonna fight because they're friends.
No, they will fight, of course. There's too much money in it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, to the top of the division. I mean, thinking what Shakur wants the belts. They've already been trash talking recently. And Shakur saying that he got the best of Haney sparring. They spar many times. They know they're gonna have to fight because obviously they're.
How about Tank? What's Tank doing while all of this is happening?
Tank's not Ryan Garcia. Tank's gonna fight those guys.
Are you sure?
There's too much money.
Are you sure he's gonna fight Shakur or Haney?
Too much money not to. Like Crawford and Spence, provided no one gets injured, will fight each other.
I'm just saying, are you sure Tank? Because guys say Tank is gonna avoid that fight. He's only taking Garcia because Garcia is a bit.
I mean, this fight may get stalled because Tank is exercising his A-side abilities. But
who's the A side if he fights Haney?
Is this Haney coming as undisputed?
Haney's got the belt that he's got now.
If Haney comes in undisputed, like say Haney gets through Lomachenko and then Tank gets through Garcia, they fight next. I mean, I think probably be 50-50 because Haney has all the belts, whereas Tank severely is the money maker of the division. Like his pay-per-view numbers are much higher. His ticket selling abilities are much higher.
What did Tank do to get all of this?
He knocks out guys. His record's 28-0, 26 KOs. Like he knocks out guys. He's entertaining. They market him well. He's fought in different states. Like Tank Tank's like mini Matt Tyson. That's how they market them.
Flip that. I just never knew that Tank had this reputation like this. I like Shakur though. Shakur looks very refined as a boxer.
I told you Shakur's probably. I said Shakur probably rise to the top. I said Shakur will be at least a 4-weight world champion. He's got 2. Looking at his 3rd. I think he'll probably go to. I think he may go to 147. We'll see. He's still very young. He's like 24. So we'll see. But yeah.
I think he's older than Haney. Is he older than Haney?
Is he?
I think he's older than Haney. I thought you had a guy that you said was it Davis or something like. You said that the best boxer of now. What's his name that you said you had as being the best boxers of now? Who's the guy that you were favouring?
Shakur's one of them. Haney's 24. Shakur's one of them. I guess Tank and Haney up there as well. There's a nice little prospect called Keyshawn Davis. Yeah, I think he's 25, 26 this year. Shakur, same month, same 97 like me. So we'll see. But yeah, that's all.